Hey, this is Julia Rebecca Myron, aka The Messy Meditator, and this is the Messy Meditator podcast, where I'll be getting into the topics of mindfulness, messiness, and life. So let's get into it. So today I want to talk about something that comes up a lot in mindfulness, and this is the concept of sitting with it. So you'll hear this a lot from mindfulness teachers, and you'll hear this a lot from me. This idea of just whatever comes up, can I sit with it? And so to break it down, it's really about when we're in meditation, we might have certain experiences, whether it's internally or externally, that we don't like. And our automatic response is to try to make it go away. And so with mindfulness practice, we ask ourselves, instead of trying to make it go away, can we just sit with it? Can we let it be there? And we do this in meditation to train ourselves to be able to do this in life. And I talk about it a lot, but it occurred to me that, there might be a lot of people that might not understand why do we even need to sit with it? Why can't we just make it go away? And the answer is that in life, it's inevitable. There are going to be things that we can't make go away. We don't have control over the whole world. We don't have control over truly barely anything we actually have control over. Control is an illusion. And so this impulse to want to make these unpleasant experiences go away might actually be counterproductive. Now, of course, disclaimer, I'm not talking about really traumatic events or, abusive situations, anything where we are in unsafe conditions. I'm just talking about general day-to-day stuff. And it's these various unpleasant experiences in life that tend to make us feel stressed. And so if we can stretch our capacity for discomfort, then we are lowering our chances of being stressed out by certain things. So, for example, an annoying sound. There are certain sounds that I cannot stand. I hate the sound of different motors like leaf blowers and weed whackers and loud mufflers and helicopters. Those sounds are just super agitating to me. Or even the sound of a fly buzzing around the room can really irk me. And so if I hear a sound, like if I'm sitting in meditation and I hear a neighbor's weed whacker going, my impulse is to get very frustrated. Oh, would they just stop? I can't think clearly with that thing going on. What I want to do is go out there and scream, shut the fuck up. But that's not very realistic. And so I can sit there listening to that leaf blower or that weed whacker or whatever it is. And I can be pissed off the whole time. Or I can check myself and notice, oh, I'm getting really pissed off. I wonder if I can just sit with this. Can I sit with all of this? Can I sit with this feeling of being pissed off? Can I sit with this annoying sound? Because that's the other thing, is that it's not just the sound that's annoying that we want to make go away, it's that pissed off feeling that we want to make go away. So we compound it with layers of resisting what is. We can't help it. There's no control over the situation. The neighbor's yard machines are going off. So I can sit and be pissed off, or I can sit and be aware. And I can sit and be pissed off and be aware. So just sitting with that sound and why is it so annoying to me? Where do I feel that in my body? Why does that create such an intense reaction for me? Do I associate that with some other sound that brings up big feelings? And so we start to investigate and go a little deeper of what is this thing that I'm experiencing? What is this emotion? What does it feel like in my body? Where does it come from? Exploring that, and then exploring the actual sound. Like, okay, let's actually, instead of trying to make it go away, let's focus our attention more directly on the sound. Like, what does that sound feel like entering my ears? And then the sound starts to take a different shape. And the emotions might start to take a different shape. And then we've just turned this one experience into this totally other type of experience. We look at it like a science project, like investigating and exploring with curiosity. Like, what is this thing that's happening to me or happening around me? And the more we can practice doing that with more unpleasant experiences in our lives, the better equipped we become to handle these unpleasant experiences in our lives. And then when the really big shit happens, really major unpleasant things, and we've built up this strength and capacity and sort of muscle memory, you could say, of being able to tolerate discomfort, then we can sort of navigate these situations in a different way. When an annoying coworker is being dramatic, instead of reacting and feeding into the drama, we can just take a step back and observe it. Like, look at that thing happening. And look at the way I feel about it. You can still have your feelings, but you don't necessarily have to do anything about it. Like, oh, look, I'm feeling irritated. Oh, I think I'm even kind of judging that person. I might even be judging myself a little bit. I have very strong opinions and feelings about this person and this situation. Interesting. And so then something that might normally consume us, now we can actually just take a step back and again observe with curiosity. And then the more we stretch, the stronger we get. And then when it goes from being an annoying coworker to, I don't know, some other bigger situation in life, we're slowly, gradually training ourselves to handle these unpleasant situations that inevitably are going to happen to every single one of us. Jon Kabat-Zinn says you can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf. And so that is one perspective of mindfulness, is we're learning how to surf life. The experiences we have in meditation, the experiences we have in our minds, the experiences that we have with other people. We're learning to surf and ride the waves instead of being pummeled by the waves. Or for some people, it might not be being pummeled by the waves. It might be trying to suppress the whole ocean. And that's an intense feeling and very exhausting. So we learn to sit with it. And we also remind ourselves that nobody is perfect. We aren't going to get it right every single time, especially when we first start trying to apply these things to our real life. But it doesn't mean we're failing. It doesn't mean we're doing it wrong. It just is part of the learning practice, learning, applying, getting better. The first time someone gets on a surfboard, they're not going to be a pro surfer. They're probably not even going to be able to stand up. But you keep practicing, and eventually you're able to surf the waves. So this is a very, very important element of this practice that often slips through the cracks, is making sure to remember that perfection is not the goal. Practice is. And that we're going to get things wrong sometimes, and it's okay. We learn from it. We practice, we fall down, we get up, we realize what we did to make ourselves fall down, what we didn't get right, and we get back up and we do it again, and again, and again, and again. Repetition is the core of this practice in meditation and in life. Reminding ourselves over and over and over again until that reminding and that repetition becomes more habit and becomes more natural. So that's really what it means to sit with it. We're stretching our capacity for discomfort so that we can navigate life with less stress and tension. Again, it's not about perfection, it's about practice. So, can you sit with that?